Every day I am chilling in Discord and helping people out who have problems with Remotion. And what I'm about to tell you is by far the most common mistake that Remotion developers make. So I thought maybe by making a video about it, I can prevent some damage. Usually what is happening is something like this. Here we have an HTML element which has a different background color based on the time and then a CSS transition applied to it. And this is of course a common pattern in web development. And if you first play it back in Remotion, it seems to behave just like you want. But there is an issue. The first issue is that when I pause the video and now just seek one frame forward, the transition is still playing over 1 second, even though the video is paused, so it shouldn't move at all. The second issue, if I decide to slow down the video and now play it with 0.25x speed, this transition will not respect it at all and still animate over 1 second instead of now taking 4 seconds to complete. But the biggest issue only appears when we are rendering the video. It is looking like this. Not a smooth transition at all. To understand why this issue is happening, I'm going to render the video, but instead of using a headless browser, this time I'm going to show the actual browser that gets opened. And as you can see, we actually open 4 tabs to render the video. We are facing a multi-threading issue. What Remotion is doing, it is spawning between 1 and n Chrome tabs depending on how many CPU cores that you have, then seeks to a frame, screenshots it, and in the end encodes it to a video. However, there is no guarantee that the frames are being screenshotted in order. On one tab, it might be that the first frame gets screenshotted, but in the meanwhile, other tabs have screenshotted frames 2, 3, and 4, and the next frame that is being screenshotted in this tab is frame number 5. So there is a rule in Remotion that all animations must be driven by the use current frame hook. Whenever the frame number is the same, you must return the same image. Your function must be deterministic, and given the same inputs, it must always return the same output. In the meanwhile, I have fixed my animation to use the interpolate colors function instead and pass in the frame as the interpolation driver, and only now we are even able to reach a state in between actually and pass in it, where the color is neither blue nor pink but some kind of purple. So why does Remotion do this dance and capture each frame individually and not just record the screen? The first reason is that it is actually nice that we can pause a video, play it, choose a different playback rate, and seek forwards and backwards. This only works if we take control over time. And what about animations which are so graphically intensive that we cannot play them back in real time? Think about Pixar movies where it takes dozens of hours to render a single frame. Here, my video is not quite the same, but I tried to make it really slow by overloading it with effects, and now it only previews at 2 frames per second. But because it uses the use current frame hook, if I render it out, sure, it will take some time, but it will be buttery smooth. The opposite can also be the case. A video can be so simple that it can be rendered faster than real time by using multi-threading or by using Remotion Lambda, where we split up the video into many small chunks and render them on separate machines. So this is why Remotion works this way and why I believe that it is really worth it to invest some time into writing code that adheres to this model. I want to show you another mistake that goes into the same direction that happens commonly, especially among 3JS developers, where we have a state, and as the frame number increases, we increase a value and we use that for a layout. So let's say we now play this video and it seems to animate correctly, but because we always only add to the previous number, now we can even scrub back in the video and the video will still play forward. And this is also not frame deterministic and lead to similar issues. So try to avoid this pattern as well.